Start small, finish big. The name of the game. It's really important for me to remind myself about the lesson that I learned with starting small and finishing big. I like to correlate this lesson with my morning routine and how I developed that and how I grew that. Um, 2 years ago, I was waking up 10 to 15 minutes before I had to get out the door, and I was rushing to get dressed. I had everything lined out and planned so it would be as easy as possible. I woke up, I knew exactly what to put on to make it the quickest. I used the restroom, drink some coffee, and I would dash out the door immediately and as soon as possible and get to work. And my day would continue to be like that in a rush. And yeah, 2 years ago, 2 years ago, I made a decision that I was going to change my life. I made a decision that I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I didn't like the way that it was going. I didn't like the direction that I was headed. So I reached out for help. I got a mentor. I started reading books. I started listening to people on YouTube, Jim Rome, Ed Milet, Tony Robbins. All the guys. And so yeah, when it comes to starting small and finishing big with the routine that I started to develop for the morning time, I kept it real simple. I woke up instead of 10 to 15 minutes before I had to be at the door. I woke up about 20 or 30 minutes before I had to get out the door. And I started to add small things, brushing my teeth. As nasty as it sounds, I was not brushing my teeth. But that's just kind of the place that I was in 2 years ago. So yeah, I started brushing my teeth. I started to read one chapter out of a daily devotional, and I would do 50 push-ups, and that's what my morning routine looked like for about a month. And then I slowly started to add on top of that. So as far as the physical element of it went, it would went from 60 to 70 push-ups. It went to 10, 15 pull-ups added on. As far as the reading went, daily devotional reading, pretty consistent. And then eventually over time, I got comfortable with adding 10 more push-ups, adding 5 to 10 more pull-ups. The reading, I added another book to my reading, and it went from 30 minutes waking up to 45 minutes to an hour. And over the course of a year, I would say I got to the point to where I was doing 200 push-ups every single morning, 60 pull-ups every single morning, and I was reading out of three different books, one which I would call my mentor. We would read together, and on top of that, I would do 6 minutes of abs, and I would pray. So I was waking up a little before 5, maybe 4:50, 4:55 usually, and didn't have to be out the door till about 6:45, 6:50. So 2 hours. I transformed this 20 to 30 minute morning routine into a 2 hour ordeal. And if I would have just kicked off immediately with 200 push-ups, 60 pull-ups, reading out of three different books, 6 minute abs, brushing the teeth, making the bed, doing the prayer, all the things. If I would have started out that way, it would have been overwhelming. I might have been able to keep up with it for a week, maybe even a month, possibly even longer. But at the end of the day, the amount of work and effort that I was putting into my morning routine and what it would have costed to try to do that consistently, it would have been overwhelming, and I would have crushed under the weight of the pressure of going from 10 to 15 minutes of waking up and doing nothing but getting out the door to 2 hours of pushing myself with push-ups, pull-ups, reading. So that's one of my favorite things to correlate with the lesson of starting small and finishing big, because I built this up over time. It started very small, 20 to 30 minute routine, one reading, some push-ups, and brushing my teeth. A couple months later, I added a few more push-ups, a few more pull-ups, added a little bit more reading. Year down the line, I'm doing 200 push-ups, 60 pull-ups, prayer, making the bed, and doing all the things. Now, I truly believe that because I was able to start that small and start that um, little of a routine and to develop it and grow it over time and stack and stack and stack and grow it into this big routine that I had set up for myself, I was able to do it for a longer period of time. And Terry Crews also illustrates it very well. I love the way he puts it. He didn't call it start small, finish big, but he was talking um, on an interview, and they asked him what his recommendations were to a beginner who goes to the gym. And I'm not going to get all this word for word, of course, but basically, simply put it, Terry Crews said if someone has never really picked up a weight ever in their life and they want to start getting into the gym, that they shouldn't just go in there and start lifting weights and start pushing plates everywhere. Get the membership, show up, hang out, walk around for 10 to 15 minutes and leave. Come back and do that 3 or 4 times that week. And then next week, kind of do the same thing, maybe stay around a little bit longer. But really, the idea of what he's doing is starting very small. I mean, almost kind of extreme small. Not touching a weight for weeks, not touching a weight for months, but just going to hang out, look around, walk around 10 to 15 minutes and leave. Now, I really understand this. I heard this a while ago and didn't click, and it didn't match up to my start small, finish big lesson that I had learned and that I had kind of grabbed onto. But after time, it did, and I realized just how smart that is for someone who never ever has touched a weight, never really ever gotten to the gym. Because we wake up, we get the gym shoes on, we get the gym clothes on, we're prepping ourselves for the gym. We get to the gym, we hang out, we leave. We do that again and again and again. We get so used to that. We get so comfortable with dressing up and getting that gym gear on and going there. And it becomes routine. It becomes habit. It becomes automatic. Me waking up and getting my clothes on. It's easy. It's small and it's done. A month or two later, I'm going and I'm hanging out and I'm starting to pick up some weights. I'm starting to play around and just get familiar with what's going on. Um, and it's just powerful. It is powerful of what can happen when you just decide to start small and start little and just show up. Don't do nothing crazy. Don't do nothing big. Don't try to make any major moves, but just start small. Ease yourself in, because what's important is not challenge yourself with you know how much weight can I lift today? I'm just getting in. I'm going to push myself to the limit. Some people can do that, but not everyone. Majority of people cannot. Majority of people, I think, would really truly benefit from this starting small and finishing big approach to life, whether it be in running, reading, writing, morning routine, the gym, whatever the case may be, wherever you are in your life. This is personal. You need to make this fit yourself. It can't be my own, um, it can't be strictly mine. You take that and use that. It needs to mold to you, shape it and use it how it best fits you. But yeah, back to the gym one. Man, what a beautiful way to explain it. Because like I said, it's not the most important part of it is consistency, doing this for a long period of time, developing the kind of routine and the kind of habits that we can use for a lifetime. We want this to be a lifestyle. We don't want to try to impress ourselves and impress someone else for the next 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, or even a year. If that's the goal, I think it's not a worthwhile goal. For me, a real decent, great goal filled with purpose is one that is planned to be done for a lifetime. I want this to be a lifestyle. I want my morning routine to become my lifestyle. I want my gym life to be my lifestyle. I want my running to become my lifestyle, my reading, my praying. I want it all to become my lifestyle. I don't just want to do it for a week, 2 weeks, a month, or half a year. Now, if I find it to not be as benefiting me as much as I thought it would, then yeah, I can lay it down and move on to something else. But a lot of this stuff that we're talking about I mean, it's great stuff. Going to the gym, running, reading, praying, meditating, all these things that benefit our lives. And the goal is to do this for a long period of time. The goal is to get something out of it. The goal is to make this become automatic, to make this become a habit and a routine of ours. So my approach is to start small and finish big. I do the same thing with my reading. I'm not a big reader. I mean, to some people, I would call myself, yeah, I'm a big reader, kind of, sort of. I do read every day. I'm not one of those ones that can sit down and read a 200-page book in one day. I know people who can. I have a mentor whose daughter will knock a 500-page book out in a weekend. And I don't know how they do that. I don't do it. And I don't really see myself doing that ever. But I do read. I start small and I finish big. I have a no days off policy. I read a minimum of 2 to 3 pages a day. And with reading 2 to 3 pages a day, starting that small and that light, I'm able to finish a book within inside of 2 months, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, depending on the size of the book. But over the course of the 2 years that I've been on this journey, I've been able to read close to 20 plus books. And it's all from not overwhelming myself with picking up a book and saying, I need to get this done today. I need to get this done tomorrow. I have to have this done this week. That's not what I'm doing. Consistency, lifestyle. I want to do this for a lifetime. I want to feel good reading. I pick up a book. I read 1 to 2 pages. If I'm not feeling it, I'll put it down, maybe pick it up later. Some books I feel more than others, so I read 3 to 10 to 12 pages, maybe even a whole chapter, maybe even 2 chapters, depending on the book. Some books are better than others. Some capture me, and some keep me invested into it. And you know, with that, I'm able to finish books. I'm able to complete, um, you know, some books that have really changed my life. And it's all from starting small, finishing big, not taking too much of a big bite that I can't chew, that I can't swallow, that I can't handle, that I'm going to regurgitate and throw all back over the floor. That's not the goal. It's not the plan. I want to digest this stuff. I want this to become me. I want to become the best version of myself possible. And I'm going to do that slowly. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So I'm trying to move smooth, baby. There's no rush to this game. As far as I know, I've woke up every day the past 28 years. Don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. If I do, it's all good, but I expect to wake up tomorrow. I expect to wake up the next day. So I'm going to start small. I'm going to finish build. I'm going to build this life into something that I'm proud of. And there's another thing that comes with the starting small and finishing big is building up the confidence, building up the self-esteem, building up the self-respect and the self-image in the process of it. When I have in the past taken on some huge task or taken on some huge challenge and I don't succeed or I don't get done what I want to be done or I don't follow through with my commitment, it hurts my self-esteem, it hurts my confidence, and ultimately it does a negative effect on me and not a positive. For example, early March of this year, 2025, I went on a run with some good friends of mine, Eddie, Tom, Sam, Jose, Derek, a few guys. We went on this run, 100-mile run. Now, I had not been very prepped before this, but over the course of the past 2 years, I have ran often. I have kept myself in a pretty decent shape athletically. I have grown my self-esteem. I have grown my self-worth, my self-image. How I talk to myself has changed. And because of the progress that I was able to make over the course of the past 2 years, I was able to successfully complete 100 miles in Florida from Key Largo to Key West. Now, if I would have came in 3 or 4 months into this journey and you asked me to go run 100 miles, I wouldn't have been able to complete it. And it might have had a negative impact on my self image. Failing, losing, having this feeling of defeat might have had a negative impact on my self image. It might have had a negative impact on my self worth and who I am as a person. It wouldn't have been very healthy to fail at that stage. So the fact is that most people, a lot of people are sensitive. I'm a sensitive person. So failing and losing and not sticking to commitments and not doing what I say I'm going to do and all that stuff, it takes an impact, makes an impact on my self-esteem, makes an impact on my self-worth, makes an impact on my self-image. And I don't want to damage that. I want to grow that. I want to nurture that. I want to develop that. So I take it bit by bit and piece by piece. 20 reps today, 40 reps next week, 60 reps in 2 weeks. Next thing I know, I'm at 100 reps. I'm confident, I'm strong, I'm growing, I'm learning. 200 reps, 1 to 2 pages a day today, 3 to 4 pages next week. The next thing I know, I got book done. I'm on the next book, and I got that book done. 3 miles a week, 5 miles in a couple weeks. Next thing I know, I'm doing 15, 16 miles a week. Next thing I know, I'm doing 50 miles in Kansas. Next thing I know, I'm doing 100 miles in Florida. That's the power of starting small and finishing big. We want to grow and develop into that, into this. We don't want to rush into something and get defeated and get overwhelmed and get have a lack of commitment. That's not what we want to do. We want to grow. We want to learn. We want to change. We want to develop. And I think the best way to do that is to start small and finish big. Wherever it is that you are in your life, in your program, if you want to call it, in your journey, in your season, in your chapter, I challenge you to look for where you can start small and finish big. Where is it? And how can you begin a journey, whether it be in fitness, in reading, in sobriety, whether it be in whatever it may be to you personally. To start small and to finish big can fit to anyone and everyone, anywhere, directly related to where you are in your life and whatever it is that you want to become. You want to become a runner. Go find a loop, 1 mile loop, go find a track, walk it, show up, bounce out, show up, walk it some more, bounce out, show up, walk it, bust a light, jog, get out of there. 2 or 3 weeks later, run a lap, bounce out. 2 weeks after that, 2 laps. It's not about knocking it all out immediately. It doesn't have to be done today. It's going to be there tomorrow. That track's not going nowhere. The sun is going to rise and the sun is going to fall. Nothing is going anywhere. Start small, finish big. You want to run miles. It starts with a step. You want to read books. It starts with 1 page. You want to get sober. It starts with 1 hour, 1 day. You want to do all these great things. You want to increase your bench press. It starts with 1 pound at a time. Over time, we can grow, we can learn, we can get what we want out of life. And it starts with one at a time, 1 rep, 1 page, 1 mile. That's it. Start small, finish big. Let's get it on.